Hi everyone, hope you're okay. Hope you're having a great week and a very good start to our Monday afternoon. We have a new person here today. We had a double yesterday, which is fabulous with Kirk and Amy, and we have the train of Lucy Felgate on today for episode 6 of Training Talk. How are you, Lucy? All right?
All right, yes, thanks, Ben.
Good, good, good. Just for those who don't know, I always call Lucy the Feltrain. I've got no idea why. Do you remember even why I started calling you that or not?
Not at all, no.
I'm not sure either. You don't
But
mind
it's
it though,
just
do you?
stuck. No, I
I
don't
always go
mind.
for a little choo choo, don't I, as you run fast, but
Yeah.
that's how's your day been today, Lucy? All right.
All right, yeah, not too bad.
Good,
Not too
good,
bad.
good. And just for those who don't know, me and Lucy do work together, so she always gets the
Yes.
inside goss or the information before the session, don't you, Lucy?
Yeah, insider information. Yes.
The worst thing is now though that you actually you don't work in the same building as me now, do you?
No, not anymore. So I don't get as many choo-choos down the corridor.
No, no, no. Because I remember was it last year? It was all year before, I'm not sure, 2 years,
It
last
was
year, I
last
think it
year,
was, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We had a massive train that had printed off, stuck on Lucy's wall, with some smoke coming out saying what she was running and why she was running, and all kids were asking questions over
Yeah. Yes.
there. You never got rid of it though, so
I didn't. No, it stayed on for ages.
so you must have loved it. It must have been good. But yeah, so Lucy
Yeah.
is same as the other podcasts. I know you've watched them, which is fab. So we'll just
Yeah.
go a little bit of background about you first, and then your journey so far in the club and a few questions.
Yeah, no problem.
Super duper. So Lucy, we'll start with before Boro Runners. When did you start running in the first place before?
Um, so I'd always done like little bits of running, but nothing ever huge. And it was really kind of round about COVID time that I started doing a little bit more. I think it was a bit of very much for my own mental health because I think kind of COVID sort of you're confined to your own house, like work was really, really stressful at the time as well. So I just kind of got myself out, just took myself out for half an hour, 45 minutes, just getting fresh air, getting my head cleared a little bit, really.
Mm.
And just continued with that and never really thought of taking running any more seriously than that. And I've always been very sort of self-conscious about my body, kind of how I look, not thinking that I was fit enough to do these sorts of things. And then you probably were, Ben, my friend set up her personal like training bod squad business, which was all like boot camps. And I started going to that, sort of built my confidence up. And then what I noticed was that my running was getting a little bit better. So I was like, oh, I actually feel a bit better with my running now. And it's like, I'll do a little bit more. And it just built
Mm.
up and built up from there. And then it was Lizzie who doesn't, she sort of dips in and out of Boro Runners now, doesn't she? Literally had to drag me kicking and screaming to my first Boro Runner session because I was like, I'm not a sociable runner. I don't speak to people. I run on my own. I put my headphones in. I don't talk to anybody. I can't come to a running club. There's no way I can like socialize and run at the same time.
Yeah.
So she kept saying, just come along. It's really lovely. It's a lovely group of people. And the only way she got me to come was by physically coming to my house to pick me up to take me to the session.
Wow.
Because I don't think I would have come
That's so
if she
stern.
yeah, if she hadn't have done that. And then yeah, and like kind of haven't stopped coming ever since really. And that was 2 years ago. So that was like July 2023 when I came to the first session. And yeah, and I've kind of continued with the boot camps and alongside with the running. And I think just marrying the two together, I've just seen things get better and better, really.
Mm.
But yeah, I just like I sort of touched on there, I've always sort of felt really self-conscious about running and running around people and just something that's like taken me a long time to sort of build my confidence up with that really.
Mm.
But just through both Bod Squad and Boro Runners, it's been like I've lost a lot of weight, and that's just kind of continued to help build sort of that mental health side of things as well as just the physical health as well. So
Yeah. No, that's
yeah,
really good.
that's
Did you go to World School before you joined Boro Runners?
yeah,
Yeah.
I started that in the I'd been going to Bod Squad about a year before I started coming to Boro Runners.
Mm.
But that's how I met Lizzie. Lizzie went there, and that was how kind of we got
All right.
talking. She sort of saw that I was doing little bits of running and was just like, "Oh, you should come along." And I was like, "No, no, no way, I'm going along to that." Running with other people, competitive running. No, that's not me.
But that's really nice though. Obviously, you obviously had that before where you weren't as confident running with other people and you wanted to just run by yourself. And Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really nice. That I mean, I've sort of seen you grow for the last 2 years, which is brilliant. And I know how nervous you were for that first running session, and even I was seeing you up and down the corridor at the time, like trying to persuade you to come and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, how has that been in terms of you personally? How much have you grown over the last 2 years, do you think, now? Because I see you at a session, you're talking to everyone, you love the social side of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes I think I look at some people and think, oh gosh, they're so chatty, they're so like, and then I sometimes think I'm not like that. And but obviously the perception that's put out there against sort of how you are,
Yeah.
I do sort of still find it. I find it sometimes kind of quite overwhelming, the number of people that are there, and there's so many faces, and you can't know everybody's name, and then you feel bad if you don't know somebody's name, and then you get talking to them, and then you're like, I can't remember what they were called, yeah, you just, some of that sort of still stresses me a little bit, but
Yeah, that's fine.
so sometimes I stick within my comfort zone.
That's really important to know what your
Yeah,
comfort zone is, and you mean you'll know majority of the people anyway, but like I say, like a few of the new people who maybe you don't know
yeah.
and stuff. It's nice to just sort of jump in and out, and
But I just
sometimes
remember that first session kind of come in, and it just stands out. I think it was Katie Lomas just was like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And it was just like, oh my gosh, these people are really, really friendly. And it's like, and it was just, I felt so welcome from like that first day of like not knowing, like knowing one person when I turned up, to then kind of now feeling like I do know a lot more people and able to just have a conversation with anybody now. So I think for me that is like quite a big thing, just to be able to chat to anybody. And I think once I do get talking, I don't stop. So then
it's like a slow burner, like
yeah,
but then once you
yeah,
start going, you're on. Yeah, no, that's class.
yeah,
That's really good. So just quickly mention with the Ball Squad, because they do loads of strength and conditioning, don't they? And it's quite early in the
yes,
morning. I know that Robin's been going, hasn't she? I don't know if anyone else
yeah.
in the club has. Just how much of an effect has that had on the Boro Runners? Because I know we talk about the strength and conditioning side quite a lot. And you're quite lucky in the sense that obviously you do your Ball Squad, so that ties in quite nice. So how important has the S&C been for you?
It's been massive because, like, I think touch wood, like, I've not had sort of niggles or, and bearing in mind I've done 2 marathon block trainings, I haven't had sort of any time out through injury. And it does make a massive difference. I feel stronger and able to sort of like sustain like the level of training that goes into sort of some of those training blocks that you put yourself through. And what I've just tried to be is consistent with it. So it's like sticking at doing that 3 times a week, alongside the training as well, just building that strength. And it's all full body strength. So it's not just focused on one area. The sessions are kind of real mixed bag. So it's upper body, lower body, core, legs, it's the full set. And I just, it's made a massive difference in just that strength building, just knowing that my muscles are not getting as sore as they used to, and just keeping that movement and stretching and everything like that going all of the time.
You're a
hard
high
work.
you're an avid fan of the strength and conditioning, are you? Please say
Well,
yes.
I don't call it strength. I don't call it strength and conditioning, do I? I just go, I'm going to boot camp. So, but the sessions are literally what you put into some of those strength and conditioning workouts. It's a lot of the stuff that I'm already doing. So I kind of know that I'm ticking along with that. And it kind of really helps with, like I say, just keeping myself, motivated as well. Because sometimes if you feel like you don't want to go for a run, but I'll go and do a bod squad session, I feel like I've kind of got something from that as well, which is all helping with the training as well.
Yeah, I think that helps with the cross training side of things. Like if people are sick of running all the time, like even just going out and cross training and switching up, it just makes a huge difference, because it is right. When you're running all the time, it can sometimes, when you're not doing as well, or when you're just monotonous in the high mileage that you're doing for marathon block, it can get quite tedious, shall we say. So yeah, it's good to switch up, and I'm glad you mentioned that. That's good.
Yeah.
So then obviously, what month and year did you join? Did you say July 2023?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you've sort of seen, like, I guess you joined at the time where we sort of like spiked over the last 18 months, which is brilliant. Has it been a big change for you? Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, it's just, I mean, it's amazing to see how it's grown and it's grown. It's incredible. But yeah, I remember, like I said, I remember one of the first sessions I came to, I think there was about like 20, 25 people there,
Mm.
and that was kind of like the sort of average number of people who were turning up to each of the sessions. So just to see how it's expanded is incredible, and credit to you there, really, Ben.
No, it's nice. It's nice. It's and it sort of said as well, like when we we're doing this podcast, you obviously mentioned there about Katie, like coming up to you and saying hi, like that makes such a massive difference. That just makes people want to
Yeah.
come back. So it's everyone tied together, and the representation that we've had at races and at events as well has been
Oh,
brilliant. It only
yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had the superhero run on Saturday as well, which was a great. We'll get on to
Yeah.
that later on about that. So yeah, so talk us, Lucy, about the time in Boro Runners now. What sort of been like your major achievements? What are the things that you look back now and you think, oh, like I did really well there? Like,
I've ran 2 marathons.
yeah. So do you want to talk us through the marathon then? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I think at the time when I started, I was signed up to do the Great North Run in the September. So I joined in the July, and I
Mhm.
knew I had the Great North Run in the September. So I kind of continued the training. I had a little sort of like in my head, I would like to have done around about like sub 2 hours if I could.
Mhm.
I didn't quite get that on the Great North. I think I was 2 hours and 1 minute or something like that. So I was like, didn't quite get it. But then I knew when I finished that half marathon, I felt like I could run further at the end of it. I didn't feel like I'd reached my absolute limit at the end of that half. And that was, I literally signed up for the marathon about 2 weeks after that. That was when I went, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now when I'm feeling at my fittest. And just do it now. And then that's when I entered into that first training block of that marathon training for Leeds in
Mhm.
2024.
Which was a harsh one for you, wasn't it? Because I mean, we'll get into a second. You obviously had a really good training block, and I was really impressed. But then you had a bit of an unlucky day, shall we say, with the weather conditions, didn't you?
Just a tad.
Just a tad, yeah. I mean, I think Manchester this year was about 28, but yours was, well, not about 26, but I think yours was 30, wasn't it? Am I right?
I just remember it being hot.
Yeah, yeah. So how is that then mentally? Going obviously through that massive 16-week training block and then having those last few days where you're looking at the weather
Yeah.
conditions online, you know it's going to be really hot. How is that mentally to prepare? Is that quite tough
Um,
or not?
I think I had a double thing with Leeds Marathon though, because I was very aware that it was a very hilly course as well. And anybody I spoke to and I said I was running Leeds Marathon, I just got this look of, "Ooh, you're brave," like that as a first marathon, because they go, "You do know it's got hills in it." I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, people keep telling me that, but I don't know. I kind of,
Uh,
in some ways, blocked the hills out. I thought I knew there was going to be a hill, or hills, I should say. Um, but I think ignorance is definitely bliss when it comes to those hills in Leeds Marathon. The less you know about them, the better.
yeah.
But then I think leading up to that week, leading up to that marathon, like you said, looking at the forecast, I just thought any sort of thought of times or anything like that, I just thought just put them out the window and just think about completing. That was then my target was just to complete the marathon, not think about what time I wanted to get. That just had to go to one side, because I think I remember speaking to you 2 days before and you were just like, just get through it. Don't think about times, just get through it.
Yeah.
And just focus on that you can do it, rather than thinking about a particular time or anything like that. So I just had to look after myself in the days leading up to it though, because there was a build up. There was about 3 or 4 days of really, really hot weather. And I think I was just consciously keeping myself really hydrated and just like staying out of the sun myself, because I thought I know what the sun can do. It, the energy it saps out of you and it drains you
Mm.
of anything. So I just thought, don't go stupid, just drink plenty of water, keep yourself hydrated, and just go out there and do what you can. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what I did. I thought, I'm not putting any pressure on myself, just try and enjoy the experience if you can. And then and what was brilliant on the day is, unexpectedly, there was some Boro Runners there. So there was Lucas and Amelia, and I remember running into Watley, and then there was these just shouts of from these two, and it was totally took me by surprise, because I was expecting to see my family who'd all come, but I wasn't expecting to see Boro Runners there. So to see those two, it was just like a massive boost to have people cheering you on along the way, and that was just before I hit the 2.5 mile uphill. at mile 17. I have to add in there, it wasn't at the beginning. It
Oh
was at
God.
mile 17.
It's not what you want, is it, in mile 17?
Well, when you get to the top of the hill, that's where the 20-mile mark is, and you just kind of go, that's just pure hell what I've just gone through there. But yeah, so then it was, and then I saw them again, sort of around about the 25-mile mark. They'd come back down. They were following their friends who were there doing it, and just to see them again was again that just boost that just gives you to sort of get to the finish. And then one of the good things about Leeds Marathon is you finish inside Headingley Stadium, so the actual finish line is inside the stadium. And I remember turning into the stadium, and they have this big like red carpet like to run on, and I just, the emotion just took over me then, and there was tears. There was just like this, oh my God, I've actually got to the finish line, it's there.
Wow.
It's like,
yeah, I didn't know you were upset at the end.
Oh yeah, there was like a full like wave of emotion hit me at that point. And
bless you.
I had like my family in the stand. They were like all trying to like shouting, and I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't really see anything. So I think I was just like, oh my God, I've done it. I've actually got over the finish line.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? I mean, obviously you have your other races like your 10Ks, your 5Ks happen where you purely go for your time, and that marathon sort of bends the two, where it's like, yes, you're going for your time, but at the same time, just to run a marathon is phenomenal. Like it's your 1%, isn't it? So yeah, that's amazing. And then you had your second one, didn't you, Shell? Your virtual one, which the pictures were brilliant. Seeing it from Manchester with who was holding the banner again? Can you remember?
It was my husband Duncan, and then my youngest daughter Georgia.
That's amazing. And you had some support as well, didn't you, for that one?
Had amazing support. Again, Boro Runners were just fantastic with that. So I had a few. So Ange met me at mile 3 and ran with me till about, I think it was about mile 15. I think she ran with me till. Mike McCann joined part way through as well, and he ran near enough half a marathon with me. And then Claire Leadbeater just literally appeared out of the shops at Normanby, just out of nowhere, and then took the baton on and ran with me for a bit as well. But typical Claire being Claire, hadn't quite contemplated that she had to run back to her car, so she thought we were like on a circular route, but then suddenly was like, oh, I've got to run back to my car. I was like, yeah, I'm not turning around, Claire, I'm in one direction now.
Oh, what are we going to do with Claire? Oh my God. So how far did she end up running, do you know?
Claire did about 6 miles with me, so I had people with me up to mile 18. I did the last 6 on my own. Last 8, sorry, on my own. But then I had the support crew, the car crew, which were just incredible. So that was Mark, Rachel and Lindsay, who were just like dotted around at every sort of 3 to 4 mile mark, just there with my water, with my fuel, with my gels, keeping me topped up. And that was like massive boosts, just keeping me ticking along all the way. And then they were there at the finish line. It was just amazing.
Class, that's amazing.
Absolutely incredible from them, yeah.
Because you planned that really well, didn't you? You finished on the straight, didn't you, red car?
Yeah, outside the Stray Cafe, yeah.
How was that running in, just seeing everyone?
It was a bit different. Well, yeah, because then I slightly miscalculated. So I'd run past it once, and then I got to 26 mile, and I needed to get the 0.2. So I had to do like a little loop back around just to get the 0.2
to run down further with the banner.
Yeah, I was like, just wait there, I'll be back in a sec. And so then all these people, because it was a gorgeous day, again, sunny day, there was loads of people sat outside the Stray Cafe with ice creams and everything, and they're like looking at this crazy woman running along with this banner ready to finish a race, and they're all thinking, what on earth is she doing?
Oh, that's colly.
But yeah, really it was fantastic, and massive sense of achievement again.
Yeah, without a doubt. Moving from the marathons, then you've also had some really, really impressive 5Ks, 10Ks, mile times. If you had to pick sort of like one race apart from the marathon that you've been most impressed with yourself in terms of your own performance, which one would you say? You can pick multiple if you want, but if you had
I think one that really stands out for me this year is the Newcastle 10K I did in January. So obviously quite a few members of the club know my dad was poorly early in the year. He suffered a stroke in January, and I was signed up to do that on the Saturday, and he was in hospital on the Wednesday. And I knew my dad, being my dad, would not want me to not do it, because that's just the sort of family that we are. And he wouldn't have wanted to think that he was the reason why I didn't do something. So kind of I put my big girl pants on as such, and I was like, right, I'm going to do it. And I had a little target in my head to think I'd really like to run sub 50. That's been a little like 10k target for me for a while. And I just put my head down and I ran, and I came out with a 48-49 or something like that it was. So I not only had got sub 50, I got sub 49 as well. So, and I literally cried when I crossed the finish line then, because it was just, there was like a wave of emotion of pent up from the week that I'd had with everything, and then to get that. And I just thought, I rang my mum straight away and I said, Dad's going to be dead proud. I've just done this. So she burst into tears. Then I'm crying on the phone as well. So
no.
it was just like, yeah. But so that really stands out as a big race this year. Just timing of it, and just the achievement from getting what I set out to get on that one as well.
Yeah, 10k is a really hard one as well, because I feel like it's so similar to your 5k time. A lot of runners have, like, if you doubled your 5k time, there's like another half minute, a minute on top. So it's a really difficult pace to keep up. But obviously, with what you've done in the week before that, to then get yourself there just on the start line is brilliant. But, and then a minute faster than what you were targeting is truly brilliant. So yeah, no, it's nice, and you know, you deserve it with all the hard work you've been putting. I mean, I rarely ever see a red dot on your training plan. It's always green, 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 green. So no,
it's such a good girl, aren't
I? Follows the rules. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. But yeah, what other achievements are you really proud of then, Lucy?
And then, you know, just like following that, it'd be Middlesbrough half this year, because I'd ran last year after doing sort of the marathon block. I went and did the Great North, and I was chuffed with my Great North time. But then I went to Manchester and did the Manchester half, and was absolutely over the moon my time, and I got 151. So I went into Middlesbrough half just kind of aiming for the 150 mark, thinking that, you know, it's not a too big a drop from what I'd got in Manchester. I've done a good training block, I'm feeling fit. And then I went and ran 147, which just sort of blew my mind a little bit, really, that I went and got that time.
It's amazing, it really is.
Yeah, so I just think, like, I was like, I wasn't expecting that. Again, it was just, quite overwhelming, really, to just sit back and go, oh my God, I've done that. My friend had texted me the night before, actually, and she'd said 148, that's what you should get. And I just was like, that's hoping. That was like, he's hoping I get 148, and then I went and got sub that. So I just, that
for you then, Lucy, with all those PBs, what would you say you put it down to most in like the Boro Runner structure? Do you think it's like a particular session type? Do you think it's the long runs? Do you think it's the miles during the week? What do you think works for you the best? Or do you think it's a combination of everything together? You know,
I think it's a bit of a combination of both, and I think understanding that the purpose behind each of the sessions, really, that, you know, as much as we might whinge and complain about the hill sessions, or
no
you know, or sometimes like the
I need a sign.
You know, the speed sessions, you might go, oh God, I just want to do a long run or something like that. It's I think it's just a combination of both. There's method behind your madness sometimes, I think, Ben, and it works. And I think, you know,
I wouldn't say madness. Is madness bad? Is it that bad?
Well, a little bit. But it pays off, because you know, but I think it's been committed to it as well. You know, I'm quite a determined person. When I get my head sort of into the game and I switch my head into it, then I think, you know, but just sticking at it, and sometimes, like, when you just have, like you said, those weeks where you just feel like, I don't feel like it's listening to your body as well, and going, my body needs a bit of a break. I need to just maybe not run today. And that's not going to knock all the progress that you've made by just missing one run, or just stepping back and just taking it easy for a couple of days and doing gentle runs just to help your body recover. But then on top of that, I think the consistency I've had with the boot camps as well, which just, like I say, keeps that strength and conditioning going as well. I think all of that combined together. But you know what I'm like, I always kind of come to you going, I don't think I'm making much progress. I don't think I'm getting that much better. And I still have like that feeling of, like, I don't know, it's like that imposter syndrome, isn't it? Sometimes where I think I'm not quite there, or I'm not quite good enough.
But if you didn't like half doubt yourself, then I think then you wouldn't also have that fire to be motivated to go on to achieve. Because if you weren't thinking, oh, now am I doing this, now am I doing that, right? Then you're not pushing yourself to be the best you can be. But I know it's obviously a fine line of, enjoying your running and also pushing to be the best you can be. But I think you've got it spot on pretty much in terms of how you balance it. But yeah, when you messaged me, like, I think it was 4 weeks ago saying you're done for you improving, I was like, are you joking me? I've just seen the amount of PBs you've run this year. I mean, I think you're one of the only athletes in the club who's PB'd in every discipline this year, including the marathon. So like, Feltrain, man. But it's good. It is hard good. It's a little bit negative, but it is hard good that I say doubting yourself, but questioning about what you can do better and stuff. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. So in terms of targets, then Lucy, moving forward, what's the sort of big goal for you, either short term, long term? What have you got in mind?
It's difficult at the moment because I feel like I've sort of ticked a lot of the achievement boxes over the course of the last 2 years. I've like massively kind of ticked those. Like the marathon was like one of those bucket list things to say that I'd run a marathon, and to have ticked that. I mean, I wouldn't say no to another marathon. It's not a case of where I've gone, I'll never do one of them again. A bizarre thing is like I don't mind that sort of training block. I think sometimes the training block is quite a nice structure. I don't mind it, and I do have an incredibly supportive family behind me, and husband who like endures my endless long runs and kind of like, yes, see you later again type thing. Which I couldn't do any of it without that comes part of it. But I think just staying consistent and just keeping it going. And I think when you'd sent that message the other day about your races and your targets, I'd just like to be sort of consistent in those like times now. I've achieved some incredible times for me over the course of the last year. And I'd just like to see not necessarily them keep getting better and better, but just be like consistent within that sort of time area, really, not put huge amount of pressure on myself to go, you've got to keep getting better all the time.
Yeah, because that's inevitably not going to happen. You're not going to get better all the time. It's sort of like, it should really be like 3 steps forward, 1 step back all the time. But, no, that's really good. So in terms of people in the club then, Lucy, who inspires you or who's really helped you?
Who's helped me? But I think from the outset, like Lindsay and Katie were just like brilliant at the start of just kind of being so welcoming, and just when you're not feeling overly confident at coming into a club situation like that, because it's not something that I've ever really done before.
No, that's about
that just that welcoming feeling that I think they've been incredible with that. And then sort of with my running, it's funny because some of the people who I initially ran with don't tend to come to the club anymore, and I think just for their own personal reasons, with the likes of Lizzie. And then I used to run a lot with Danielle as well, and unfortunately she got injured and wasn't able to come anymore. But I think more recently it's I've Ange and Melissa and Claire, obviously crazy Claire,
crazy Claire.
Yeah. They're just great to be around, and really supportive of sort of my achievements and their achievements, and sort of you push each other along with what you want to do with your running as well, which is great. But it's just that you could name so many people, it's really hard to sort of kind of single or pinpoint people, really. It's the club as a whole is just really, really supportive of everybody.
That's really nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't mentioned like Andrew and Melissa before, so it's nice because obviously we're trying to get people with all different abilities and stuff, and it's hard because they train with like the same group of people all the time, so they wouldn't really see people at the back or at the front. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have those conversations with those types of people, so it's nice that everyone's getting mentioned. And I mean, and obviously doing the what, 50, you said 15 miles the effort.
Yeah, I think it was about that much.
Phenomenal. Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah.
Did you ask her to, or did she just come to you?
No, she just sort of said, I'll come and join you on part of the way. And then, like I say, she joined me at mile 3 and then just didn't leave me. Just stayed with me, which was lovely. So it was just nice for people to talk to, because I'm not really a talker when I'm running. So it's like I'm not normally somebody who I'd like stick my headphones in, because all of my training in both the marathon blocks, I did like long solo runs. So I just get into my own headspace. Then when I'm like, I'm going to do a 20 miler, it's like, right, headphones in, just go and do
you
it.
have to do what works for you. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, no, that's good. Right, Lucy, some personal questions about you then. Some light-hearted ones, don't worry. They're not like a test. What would you say is something that you're very guilty of that you shouldn't normally do in like a running block or running in general? What's something that you're guilty of? So, for example, like, not cooling down properly, or like stretches.
Not stretching.
Really? You've had stretches? Do you not do it after a session? Enjoy it in the circle? Or?
I do them like when I'm at a session, but you obviously see sometimes I need to dash off at the end of sessions just because time's ticking on. So I've got to get back for the kids sometimes. So it's like, I'm shooting off, and then I'm not going to lie, I don't do them when I get home.
You promised me as well. Yeah, so are you going to do stretches at home? And you say, yeah, wow, I feel like I've been betrayed and lied to. So.
Yeah. So I definitely say that's probably, and I would possibly say I don't warm up properly for a race.
Okay. In what way?
If I'm with Boro Runners, I'll follow your warm up and I'll do everything. But if I was going to one on my own, I'd tend to just sort of like wander around and then just find myself on the start line and be like, oh, right, okay, I'll go.
Oh, hearing that as a coach is heartbreaking, really. But no, it's fine. I'd rather not say that.
It's like, I know I should do it, but you get caught up in the moment of just like following the crowd and stuff like that. So then it is hard sometimes. So
I know, I get you. It's all good. How was it like for you with an IMAC relays in terms of exchange, and was that quite stressful?
No, it wasn't too bad. I did both of them last year. I didn't take part in May this year, but I did the 2 last year, and no, it wasn't too bad. I didn't find it too stressful.
That's good. Yeah, I was looking this year because obviously I was on the last leg. It was nice to see the different perspective, because I was watching obviously them trying to get on the start line, and it was just chaos, complete chaos. And
I did run leg one. I did run leg one, and the second one I did, and I just found the start really stressful because it's just so cramped, and I literally just stayed at the back, and I just thought it's just easier to stay at the back, isn't it?
Bless you. It is hard. Like it is really tough. Next on, Lucy, where is somewhere you would like to race around the world if you could have one place that you would love to do a race in? Or somewhere you'd like to visit, maybe? Anywhere.
I always think some of the ones like in Spain look very picturesque, like where you run along the coast. I don't know if it's Barcelona, one of those ones where you do actually run along the coast. I think they do look amazing, and the scenery, like the one that Matt and Rach did last year down in Nice. The scenery for that one, just they just look really picturesque, and
they're globetrotters, and they love the.
They are,
No, it's just from the Dubai, I think, which is amazing. So
Although
Rach had a little stumble, didn't she, on the Kenny Hills? But I know, what can we do with these injuries? Class. This one's a bit of a random one, but if your running shoes could talk to you, what do you think they'd say to you? What's something that they would say?
What would they say to me?
If you don't have an answer, it's absolutely fine. I think it's a really hard one, that one.
It is quite hard, that. They'd probably say something like, kind of, stop being, get me a new pair. That's what.
Do you like wearing a lot of shoes now?
I'm not as obsessive as some people are in the club. But I get a bit fixated on one sort of brand, and I'm totally kind of like, I got
that's
one
good.
set.
That's really good.
Yeah. Well, I got one pair of Sauconys, and I really liked them, so I ended up with the same pair in 3 different colours, just like rotating the colours.
Did you buy them all 3 together? So, like at once?
Rotated them because it was doing a marathon block, and I didn't want to wear one of them out, so I kept all of them worn. So then when it came to marathon day, I knew which pair I wore then.
Wow, I've never heard that before. That's mental. For those marathon goers next year. Yeah, there you go, take note. That's class. Did you buy 3 pairs?
Yeah, I have the same shoe in 3 different colours.
Wow, that's outrageous. Fair play though. Are they still all runnable now, or are some of them worn?
No, I've had to move on now. They've all been worn out, so I'm on to like new rotation of Sauconys
Wow.
now.
Phenomenal. Fair play, class. That's really good. What colours did you go for?
I had a blue pair, a pink pair, and a black pair.
Oh,
And it was the pink pair that got me through Leeds Marathon.
oh, the pink's the best. Yeah, the pink's the best.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is? I can't buy a pair of black trainers. I have no idea why. It's just I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just can't do it. I feel like I'm gonna get injured in a black pair of trainers, and I got no idea why. No, that's just a colour. Maybe bizarre,
Yeah.
but very interesting. Is there anything in your training, Lucy, that you would say you do differently to somebody else, or something that you quite like that maybe other people wouldn't like?
I don't know. I just crack on and just do it.
just get on with it. I love that.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Canyon Hills?
Saying I'm a fan's probably stretching it, but I do them.
I turn up.
I'm not gonna. I wouldn't avoid a session just because of what the session says. That I wouldn't kind of go. I don't like the look of that, so I'm not going to do it. I'd always come and give it a go. And I did 2 at Kenyon Hills last summer. Unfortunately, I did miss last week, but I genuinely couldn't come to training last week. So.
Too bad. I think next month we're going to try Hutton Village. You know the hill at the end of the village where Pinching happens. Yeah. Well, we're going to maybe try that one. So we'll see how that goes. But
yeah,
because I know the one at Flats Lane isn't the widest of flats.
It's quite cramped, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, even I struggle quite a lot to try and creep past people because obviously you've got people turning around in the middle, but then you've got the people coming from the red cones down. So yeah, quite tough, but hopefully a wide path. Last question then, Lucy. If you could give one piece of advice that you think could really help somebody either new joining the running club or somebody in the club now who maybe needs a bit of advice, what sticks with you? What's your best quote? What's something that you live by?
Just like believe in yourself, I think. And just stick at it. It may feel tough and it may feel hard at times. And, turning up in wind, rain, minus whatever degree temperatures, you feel like, what on earth am I doing? But it pays off and you can see the benefits of it. So it's just, stick at it. You get there in the end, but I think you've got to believe that you can do it as well. So having that little bit of self-belief that you can do it, and then you can and you will.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think a lot of people, when they go through like a big training block and they have that week or two where they are struggling with the fatigue and it almost like progression goes down a little bit, but that's exactly what you need. I think at that point there, that's you make or break. And, if you're a strong enough character, you'll be able to push through that and then see progression again. But I think a lot of people think because then they go downhill a little bit and, quality gets a bit worse at sessions because of fatigue, and they're getting worse and they know what's the point of putting the miles in. And that's where they sort of crumble. So yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like a little bit of belief and self-confidence and just belief in what you're doing is the right thing to do.
Yeah,
which is what we're saying with you exactly. So like I said before, you've progressed in every single discipline so far, and the train's going to go even further. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to try to get a nickname for everyone else, but I should put it on this thumbnail for the Feltrain.
Yeah.
Choo choo. It's all I could do. It's half an hour. I'll just call you Lucy from now on.
It's fine. I respond to it, so it's not like
you do. To be fair, yeah. Is this some like awkward like smile that you do where like you don't know how to respond? I just do that laugh.
But it's when you shout it across the the car park and like everyone like turns around as if like, what is he doing?
Yeah,
and
that's
like,
true.
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
me.
Yeah, and you're the only person. Oh god, here he goes again. Choo choo. I just can't help it. It's just nodded into my mind now. One of those. But yeah, no, we'll leave it there, Lucy. It's been absolutely brilliant. And as I say, I've learned more about you there as well, which is fantastic. So thank you very much for coming on to the podcast.
Very welcome. Thanks for having me.
No, are you still at work, by the way?
No.
Oh, I was going to say the blinds are very similar to what we've got. But,
oh, no. Well, yeah, they are probably similar, but no, not aware.
That's class. Well, on that though, we'll leave it there. But so yeah, thank you all very much for watching. We have 2 recordings to do this week as well, so hopefully we should be able to put all 3 out, including this one. That'll be the 6th, 7th, and the 8th. So yeah, plenty more to come, plenty more content, and yeah, hopefully you are enjoying them and you're learning from them as well. So from me and Lucy, all the best. Take care, guys, and we'll see you in the
Bye.
next video. Take care.